Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 23 based on novel. So let's start. Why is this Dan Lei different from the one he had drawn from refining medicinal pills before? Staring closely at the thunder that swims like a silver snake in the dark clouds, feeling the huge power contained in it, Yu's eyes also flashed with surprise and doubt. Because this time Lei Yun is more powerful than the one in the Alchemist Association assessment, I don't know if Xiao Yan can continue. Alchemist is indeed the most powerful profession in this world. Countless pharmacists, the biggest hope in their lives is to refine a thunder cloud that can attract more and more powerful, which means that the rank of the medicine pill is also higher. In their opinion, it is a great honor, and Xiao Yang is also proud of this. He clearly remembered that even when he was refining medicinal pills in the past, he had never triggered such a terrifying scene. Today's scene is due to the skyrocketing strength. After all, refining medicine is also an extremely time-consuming matter, not only cost-effective. The power of the soul is also not a small load on one's own vindictiveness. As the fluctuations from the medicine tripod became stronger and stronger, after arriving, a loud noise rang out in the sky of the Yu family courtyard, and immediately everyone felt that this piece of heaven and earth seemed to suddenly disappear. It was dark, and in the sky, the clouds quickly condensed from all directions. The cloud layer condensed this time is not an ordinary black color. As more and more thunderclouds condense, it is an extremely deep dark color. The sky is full of thunderclouds and black fog, and there is no thunderclap, but when people look at the dark clouds that are so deep that they can be sucked in, it seems that even the soul is slightly at this moment trembling. In this world, there are only some extremely precious 8th grade elixirs that can attract the 9-color pill thunder. Above that are the 9th grade elixirs or even stronger elixirs, and above the 9th grade is the legend. Among the emperors, this Xiao Yang is actually refining imperial medicinal pills. At this time, even the extremely experienced alchemy masters of the Yu family's complexion became quite exciting. Being able to watch a master alchemist refining pills at such a close distance will greatly improve one's own medicine refining skills, which is always very attractive to pharmacists. After all, many master alchemists refine pills. There will be strong guards when the medicine is taken, and it is easier to watch it at such a close distance. I haven't seen Shen Molei for many years. Yu, who was standing on the roof, raised her head at this moment, looking at the strange black clouds in the sky, and muttered, "It's actually a mysterious thunder." The Golden Dragon King also said with a wry smile, unexpectedly attracting such a powerful thundercloud. "Master, what is mysterious demon thunder?" Xiao Yang was also puzzled, although he felt a familiar smell from this dark thundercloud. "I heard Tuor she said that when refining medicinal pills, the 9th grade will attract extremely powerful thunderclouds, and the black magic thunder is one of them, but the thundercloud drawn by refining the imperial medicinal pills has 9 colors of thunder. Cloud, mysterious demon thunder, earth demon thunder, and heaven demon thunder. Emperor medicinal pills are also divided into 1 to 9 colors of thunderclouds. Although the power of this thundercloud is undeniable, it is not too dangerous. Above the 9-color thundercloud is the mysterious thunder. This mysterious thunder has quite powerful power, and every thunder calamity is very terrifying. Guban Peiyuan pill is worthy of being a first-order pill of the emperor's rank, and it can actually attract the mysterious lightning. As far as I know, this mysterious lightning is quite vicious, and ordinary 4-star fighting emperors are quite difficult to deal with. Because of the hard work. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly. Hearing this, Xiao Yang also stared solemnly at the black cloud that was constantly wriggling. From there, he felt an extremely strong destructive power. This kind of power was more powerful than the 9 colors that appeared in the refining of medicinal pills before. Dan Lei and Black Demon Lei, I don't know how many times stronger. In the distant sky, the black sound layer was constantly wriggling, and the entire sky and earth above the Yu family was silent, without the slightest sound of thunder, but it was this deadly silence that made people feel terrible. With the constant squirming of the black cloud layer, about 10 minutes later, a square void suddenly and slowly opened in the center of the cloud layer. Inside the void, there was still a black lacquer, like the deepest black hole. However, just when this circular hole appeared, the cold hairs all over Xiao Yang's body stood up slightly, and the monstrous aura finally swept out of his body without reservation. When Xiao Yang's aura was soaring, in that void, countless thunder powers condensed together, and then an abnormal sound finally came out, and immediately a black lightning as thick as a tree shot out from it, and then quietly, silently, he swept away towards Xiao Yang below. Looking at this small black lightning bolt, The surrounding Yu family members were horrified and their bodies retreated sharply. Because they all know that although the refining of medicinal pills is successful, there is still one last step to meet, and how many high-level medicinal pills are destroyed in this last step. Xiao Yang stared at the black lightning that even he could feel some danger. With a flick of his finger, a figure glowing with a little golden light swept out of his receiving ring, and then appeared over the wooden house, and it was that golden demon puppet that can absorb Dan Lei. He also wanted to see if the golden demon puppet could take over the profound demon lightning. After all, the potential of the golden demon puppet that was comparable to that of a 5-star Do Emperor still made Xiao Yang quite satisfied. Boom! With a flash of black thunder, it appeared on the top of the golden demon puppet, and then directly hit the latter's body. But this time, the golden demon puppet, who had never missed a single shot in the past, when the black thunder melted into the body, it was instantly stiff. Immediately, the clothes on the hard surface of the body burst into a mass of powder. Bang! After the clothes on the skin of the golden demon puppet were destroyed, the following thunderbolts were also caused, and almost did not have the slightest blocking effect. As long as they were stained by the black thunderbolts, the extremely hard body would be it became soft in an instant. This kind of thing was the first time Xiao Yang had seen in so many years. Xiao Yang's expression became more and more solemn. With the ability of this golden demon, it was obvious that he could not absorb the destructive power in the black thunder. If this continued, it would also damage the golden demon that had been improved by his master, the Golden Dragon King. At this time, he must take the shot himself. Cool. He let out a sigh of relief. Xiao Yang stepped on the soles of his feet, and his figure appeared directly above the wooden house. He raised his head, surrounded by flames, and in the dark pupils, black lightning flashed violently. Looking at the black thunder that was getting closer and closer, Xiao Yang clenched his palms slowly, and with the thick clenching of his palms, the energy between this piece of heaven and earth was almost stimulated by some kind, and gathered in his fists overwhelmingly. Above. Do-Di powerhouses are capable of controlling the energy of the heavens and the earth. At this level, even if there is no Do-Chi in their bodies, they can still perform attacks that destroy the world and destroy the world. This is the most terrifying thing about Do-Di powerhouses. Let me, Xiao Yang, come and test how capable you are of this mysterious thunder. Terrifying energy gathered on Xiao Yang's fist, and among those many shocked eyes, a fist slammed on the black thunderbolt. Above the sky, Xiao Yang's fist with terrifying fluctuations and an astonishing beam of light from thunderclouds all over the sky collided. The space of heaven and earth is like broken glass, and the crackling is an explosion. After the counterattack, Xiao Yang also hurriedly landed on the wooden house to stabilize his body. This mysterious thunder is indeed well-deserved. Xiao Yang and Xian Molei just seemed to have a simple confrontation, but it was not the case. When Xiao Yang and Xian Molei fought against each other, Xian Molei itself seemed to have extremely strong penetrating power. Although Xiao Yang had a strange fire protection, however, there was still some thunder power transmitted to Xiao Yang's body, and the feeling of numbness immediately spread throughout Xiao Yang's body. Therefore, in the counterattack just now, Xiao Yang was indeed at a disadvantage. Not far away, Yu also clearly noticed a trace of Xiao Yang's state. Just as she was about to make a move, she had no choice but to stare at some old monsters hiding in the dark, so she had to stop. Then he frowned. Even with Yu's experience, this mysterious thunder was only known by its name, but it was unexpected that when I saw it today, this mysterious thunder truly deserves to be called an alchemist killer. And looking at the empty sky at that moment, the third elder's complexion also became very exciting. This kind of grand occasion is rare. Boom. Above the sky, a terrifying energy storm was raging frantically, and the space within a radius of 100 zhong turned into pitch black at this moment. Down, all collapse. Looking at the pitch black space in the sky, the expressions of most people have changed. Even if they have lived for so many years, it is still rare for an alchemist of this level to meet Dan Lei. If they are caught in the energy storm in the thundercloud, with their strength, I am afraid that they will not be able to support them for 2 breaths of time, and even their souls will be shattered in it. Then Xiao Yang actually dared to fight against the mysterious thunder. That is a mysterious thunder that is comparable to some extremely powerful 4-star Do Emperor peak powerhouses. When the elders in the attic saw this scene, they couldn't help but murmured in surprise. Then Xiao Yang is the peak strength of Samsung Do Di. If you have to deal with a mysterious thunder, it is not a big problem. But if there are so many mysterious demons Lei Xiaoyan can handle alone. The third elder, who was dressed in commoner, glanced at the sky and said indifferently, "The power of this kind of mysterious thunder is extremely terrifying. Even the ordinary 4-star Do Emperor powerhouse would not dare to take the blow just now. Samsung Do Emperor peak? Hearing this, the elders in the baskets on the side were slightly shocked. Although they had expected it, when they heard the confirmation of the third elder, they couldn't help but feel a little shocked. They practiced so much. It took so many years to finally reach the level of the 4-star Do Emperor today, but that Xiao Yang, at such an age, not only reached the level of the peak of the 3-star Do Emperor, but also the refining technology is even more consummate, and so on. But they all surpassed them, which really made people have to obey. Hey, this kid is really unexpected. I didn't expect that this time he would be able to draw out a thundercloud of the level of Xian Molei. In the Alchemist Association, a white-haired old man also looked at the terrifying sky in the sky. Lei Yun laughed. Why does this person look like Xiao Yang? Impossible, how could Xiao Yang have obtained the imperial medicine pill? A bald head in the group muttered to himself. Mua, what are you looking at? The man in grey asked. It's nothing, let's go. The bald head muttered something impossible. Black lightning flickered in Xiao Yang's black eyes. Xiao Yang's palm lightly stroked the equally dark heavy ruler behind him, and muttered in a low voice. Boom. The black lightning intersected in the dark clouds more and more intensely. After arriving, the atmosphere of the whole sky became extremely depressed. After about 10 seconds, the thunderclouds all over the sky cracked open. Immediately, a huge black thunder about half a foot long and wide, with a loud noise resounding through the heavens and the earth. The black giant thunder was like a huge black python, staring at Xiao Yang viciously, and then spit out a snake letter, as if it was going to tear Xiao Yang apart. The black python shot violently out of the dark cloud, and the target it shot was Xiao Yang above the wooden house. Seeing the black python transformed by Xian Molei crashing down, Xiao Yang's eyes flashed a dignified look, and when he grasped it in the palm of his hand, a huge ancient ruler of different fires flashed out. The flame divides the wave ruler. With a low voice, the shadow of the ruler appeared densely in an instant, and within 2 or 3 breaths, it turned into an airtight shadow with the power of the huge flame, wrapping Xiao Yang's body as much as possible. Bang! The black python came with a bang. When it passed through the surrounding space in the sky, although it was weakened a little by the power of the flame, it still carried a might of heaven and earth, biting on the foot of the shadow fiercely. Immediately, the sound of explosions and thunderous thunders resounded through the heavens and the earth. Anger thundered down, and countless tiny lightning bolts were shot out by the ruler, densely packed like tiny silver snakes, smashing the entire wooden house. Crack! The shadows of the rulers are layered on top of each other, as if they are endless, they take over all the terrifying giant thunders. After a while, a low shout sounded, and several huge rulers suddenly intersected, and immediately shot out, slamming into the sky. Above the thundercloud. The thundercloud that filled the sky was split open by the latter. With one move to split the angry thunder, Xiao Yang also took a deep breath, clenched his numb palm, then lifted the heavy ruler heavily, raised his head, and shouted, "Come here." It seemed like a tiny crack was caused by Xiao Yang's attack, and the dark cloud that was surging became more and more violent. After a while, the clattering sound resounded again, and a black thunder that was twice as strong as the previous one shot out from the black cloud again. It's you who's waiting. Looking at the black sky thunder that traverses the sky with fiery eyes, Xiao Yang laughed loudly, and his hands formed lightning-like knots. Huang Quan palm, break it for me. The terrifying power of flames appeared all over the huge energy handprint, and then emerged in front of Xiao Yang, and immediately shuddered, roared out, and finally met the giant with no flinch in the countless shocking gazes below. Thunder. Bang. The energy handprint collided with the giant thunder, and the huge black light and colorful flames exploded like fireworks in the sky. It was extremely tenacious and slammed towards Xiao Yang. As expected of the power of heaven and earth, but I want to see how many times you can resist. Looking at the silver thunder that actually forcibly shattered Huang Quan's palm, Xiao Yang's eyes flashed with surprise. He immediately smiled, and the fingerprints moved again. Because Xiao Yang also discovered that this originally terrifying mysterious lightning was slowly weakening under his own attack. Then, Xiao Yang's dark eyes also had a different thought. As the handprint changed, another huge energy handprint appeared, collided with the remaining black mysterious thunderbolt, and finally both were annihilated in a thunderous explosion. On the attic of the Yu family compound, looking at Xiao Yang who had forcibly smashed 2 thunderbolts, countless people were stunned. In addition to this sluggishness, there was also a bit of excitement that could not be suppressed. How did Lei Yun, who was quite afraid in the hands of pharmacists, become so vulnerable in this kid's hands? Boom. Xiao Yang shattered 2 black mysterious thunders one after another, and the dark cloud seemed to become even more furious. At the moment, countless black lights flashed, and one after another, lightning broke through the black cloud like a black python, and then smashed one after another fiercely. To Xiao Yang above the wooden house. Looking at the dense black mysterious thunder that fell from the sky, Xiao Yang's eyes flashed with enthusiasm. These years of experience have created his calm personality, but perhaps it is because he will be leaving soon. He seemed extraordinarily arrogant, and it had to be said that the current Xiao Yang just now had a trace of strength and self-confidence that truly belonged to his age. Milky white flames rose up all over Xiao Yang's body. He raised his head and laughed wildly. The laughter resounded like thunder, resounding throughout the Yu family courtyard, and immediately his sleeve robes fluttered fiercely, a majestic column of do-chi as wide as a yard, violently violent from within his body. It poured out, and immediately faced the black mysterious lightning that filled the sky without fear. Bang! Huge thunder explosions erupted one after another in the sky, and each explosion would cause a little tremor in the space of this world. In the sky, the black mysterious thunder was overwhelming, and this apocalyptic appearance made people feel a sense of fear from the depths of their souls. Above the wooden house, after fighting against the black mysterious lightning for dozens of times, Xiao Yang's face gradually became pale, and even a trace of blood appeared on the corner of his mouth. Even so, the enthusiasm in his eyes was not at all. Never weakened. No, this mysterious thunder is still too strong now, it has to be weakened. Xiao Yang muttered to himself. The numb power of thunder rapidly flowed through the meridians in the body, causing Xiao Yang's body to feel a sense of weakness, and in the process of resisting, he gradually fell into the disadvantage. Xiao Yang's resistance gradually weakened, but the Dan Lei became more and more violent, and the momentum was as if he would never give up until the pill was broken into pieces. Boom! The black light shone on the heavens and the earth, and a black Dan thunder that was half a jong huge shot out from the dark clouds again. Feeling the power of this black mysterious thunder, Yu and Yueru's expressions changed slightly, their bodies moved, and their majestic fighting chi was about to be rescued, but Xiao Yang's laughter came again from the wooden house. Senior, please keep your hands, these thunderbolts are still useful to me. Xiao Yang also hurriedly said to stop, and finally weakened this mysterious thunderbolt, but he couldn't let it go. The power of heaven and earth is really unpredictable. However, it should be about time. Golden Demon Puppet, now. As soon as Xiao Yang's words to Yu and the others fell, a slightly golden figure appeared in front of Xiao Yang out of thin air, and immediately the slightly golden figure clenched his fist and punched out like this without any fancy. Punching out, that terrifying mysterious thunder actually appeared on the Golden Demon Puppet's fist. It is as if there is a mysterious attraction like a magnet on that fist. There was silence in the sky, one after another astonished gaze, instantly petrified. This puppet can actually absorb the power of thunder. You must know that this is a mysterious thunder, not an ordinary thunder. Xiao Yang shook his head slightly, and immediately started to let the Golden Demon Puppet absorb the power of thunder. At this time, the mysterious thunderbolt obviously did not have the monstrous weather just now, but the number was quite large. But it is a rare supplement. If these weak mysterious thunderbolts are absorbed by the Golden Demon, I wonder if it will be able to reach the step that my master, the Golden Dragon King, said. Comparable to the puppet of a 5-star fighting emperor. Therefore, he sat cross-legged directly on the wooden house and began to observe the situation of the Golden Demon Puppet absorbing the mysterious lightning. Under the control of Xiao Yang's mind, the Golden Demon Puppet stopped, looked up at the black thunderbolt, and then slowly stretched out his palm. For its move, the black thunderbolt not only did not dodge, but instead seemed to be provoked. In general, one after another fierce thunder force was thrown on the Golden Demon Puppet's arm. Hei Hai Lei had just melted into the arm of the Golden Demon Puppet, but the latter's slightly golden body suddenly burst out with a strange suction force, which directly sucked the black demon thunder into its body. Middle. Pulling a black thunderbolt into his body, Jin Yaropup's hair immediately stood up like a hedgehog guarding against the enemy, and circles of black thunder and lightning continued to flicker wildly around his body, trembling strangely. The sound came out one after another, and the power of thunder on the surface of the body flowed everywhere, which was extremely harsh. Xiao Yang stared nervously at the Golden Demon Puppet surrounded by black electric flowers. After a while, his eyes also filled with joy. He could feel that the extremely violent thunder power of the mysterious demons was in the Golden Demon Puppet. After frantically raging in the body, it finally gradually merged into its body, and the violent energy infiltrated the muscles of the Golden Demon Puppet, and constantly improved its bones. This mysterious thunder was really weakened by his previous offensive, and the remaining power of thunder couldn't help but not destroy the golden demon puppet, and it was even effective against the golden demon puppet. And under this kind of tempering, the golden body of the golden demon puppet became a little darker, and the muscles all over his body trembled, filled with a visual sense of power. The effect is good. One after another, the energy of the mysterious magic thunder was vented from the thunderclouds all over the sky, and finally all of them melted on the body of the golden demon, and then the golden demon was slowly absorbing. Xiao Yang was a little happy. Xiao Yang also knew that when the slightly golden color on the golden demon puppet was completely transformed, it would be the time for the golden demon puppet to evolve. It has truly evolved into a puppet that is comparable to a 5-star fighting emperor. Xiao Yang's little friend is really unexpected. I didn't expect to have such a precious puppet. The third elder also said. It seems that we are worried for nothing. Yu Yu also laughed loudly. At the critical moment just now, he had planned to take action, but Xiao Yang's words made Yu Yu have to believe this young man, but now it seems that Xiao Yang, this kid Yang, didn't mean to be big, but he really had some skills. It's fine. Yueru also sighed in relief. Alchemy has basically been completed. Next, wait for this pill to disappear and then you're done. Xiao Yang also laughed. After twists and turns, he still had to succeed. Time passed by minute by minute. Seeing the increasingly small thundercloud in the sky and the golden demon puppet whose golden light became more and more condensed, Xiao Yang nodded with satisfaction. Boom. After the last trace of gold on Jin Yaropup's body was completely transformed into gold, Dan Lei was about to dissipate. That is, Xiao Yang. Little bastard, you can be considered as letting me find you. Mueller looked at the figure in the sky who was refining medicine pills, and then the man in grey who was with Mueller said bitterly. Above the sky, the raging energy storm finally slowly dissipated after lasting for more than 10 minutes, and as the storm dissipated, this collapsed space gradually completed its self-repair and warmed it up. The sunlight poured down from the sky again, shining on the top of this mountain. As the storm dissipated, all eyes turned to the sky in an instant, only to see a young figure standing in the air, and the previous terrifying energy storm could not be hurt in the slightest. In the sky, sensing the dispersing storm, Xiao Yang's tense body slowly relaxed, his fists clenched, and a numbness spread from his fists. The power of Shen Molei was also somewhat unexpected to him. From the contact just now, Xiao Yang understood that if he hadn't reached the peak of the 3-star Dodi this time, he would rely on the power of different fire and the constant power of different fire. The strength of the ancient ruler, I am afraid its end, it will not be so good. Looking at the golden demon puppet that slowly and invisibly exudes terrifying power in the air, Xiao Yang's face also smiled. My golden demon puppet has finally been tempered. Is this the Dan Lei attracted by the Emperor's medicine pill? It's really powerful. Xiao Yang praised in his heart, but although the power of this mysterious magic thunder was amazing, after being weakened by his own attack, it was absorbed by the golden demon puppet. Obviously, the number was not large, but it finally allowed the golden demon puppet to complete its evolution. Therefore, after the last black thunder was shot from the thunderclouds in the sky, the thick black clouds in the sky also slowly dissipated. Roar. At the moment when the black cloud dissipated, the golden demon puppet below suddenly roared up to the sky, and then its burly body suddenly burst into a dazzling golden luster, and an amazing energy fluctuation surged out of its body. It seems that there is still some gap between the real peak golden demon puppet, but this is true, the current golden demon puppet is also comparable to the powerhouse of the late 4-star fighting emperor. Looking at the terrifying expression in the air, the golden demon puppet of power, although the golden color is dazzling, but if you look closely, there are still some places that are not completely converted into golden color. But this is enough, and if you think about it a few times later, you will be able to reach the real golden demon level. With a plan, Xiao Yang also smacked his lips, and then directly put it into the ring, which was a trump card for him in the future. After doing all this, Xiao Yang's eyes also returned to the medicine cauldron. Inside the fiery red medicine cauldron, a dark red medicinal pill saw the dissipating thunderclouds in the sky, as if it had wisdom, and the residual flame in the medicine cauldron instantly emerged into a huge fire dragon, trying to break free from the medicine cauldron. Boom. As the energy fluctuations controlled by the medicinal pill in the medicine cauldron became more and more violent, after arriving, the huge fire dragon whimpered suddenly, and the huge body actually burst open in the eyes of many amazed eyes. The medicine cauldron exploded, the flames flying all over the sky, and then the dark red medicinal pill in the medicine cauldron also broke free from the medicine cauldron and wanted to escape. At the moment when the fire dragon's body swept away violently, a streamer suddenly swept out of its body, and finally, under the cover of those radiating flames, it quickly rushed towards the sky. Want to run? However, just as this stream of light just swept out, Xiao Yang laughed loudly, his body flashed, and he appeared in front of that stream of light like a ghost, his big hand directly facing the latter and grabbed it. Roar! Facing Xiao Yang's grasp, that stream of light rapidly expanded, and in a blink of an eye it turned into a monstrous beast with an extremely large body. Its huge claws made a loud cracking sound, and Xiao Yang slapped it with a slap. Past. Boom. When the fists and palms collided, the ferocious beast suddenly screamed, and the huge body flew out quickly. Seeing the giant beast shot backwards, Xiao Yang smiled and chased after him again. Seeing Xiao Yang chasing after him again, the giant beast burst out with a strong light again, and its body also shrank rapidly. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a figure, and the light dissipated. Xiao Yang was immediately stunned, because there, another Xiao Yang stood in the sky. Interesting, is this the Emperor's medicine pill, and it can still turn into a human shape? Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang couldn't help but shake his head with a smile. If he was allowed to escape from the First Order Imperial Elixir, it might turn into something strange. Of course, the bigger it is possible that other powerhouses would sense the difference, so they directly grabbed a bite and swallowed it. Although the First Order Tian-level medicinal pills of the Emperor's grade have wisdom, their real power cannot be compared with Xiao's. A strong man like Yang competes. Roar. The Emperor-grade medicinal pill that changed into Xiao Yang obviously refused to be easily absorbed by Xiao Yang, so he could only keep roaring at Xiao Yang. Let me go. The Emperor Pin medicine transformed into a shadow of 3,000 silks hanging down. Zuna. Xiao Yang murmured as he looked at the Emperor-grade medicine pill in the sky, and couldn't help but feel a little moved. Yu was also shocked by this sudden scene in the sky. This imperial medicinal pill could actually transform into a human form, but as a girl's intuition told Yu, Xiao Yang stared at the imperial medicinal pill shop sluggishly. The girl who changed, that girl must have something to do with Xiao Yang. Yuaru also stared at the woman with 3,000 silks hanging down in the sky in disbelief, and Yuaru's beauty couldn't help but be inferior. Such a change in the sky also attracted a lot of strange eyes. The Emperor-grade medicine pill, even the presence of these master refining medicine masters, is difficult to see, so when you see this when the medicinal pill could actually turn into a human shape and spit out human words, it was a little amazed. Bang! Xiao Yang was also sluggish for a short time, and the 3,000 thunderbolts smoothly performed to the extreme, appearing in front of Zuna like a ghost, and then stretched out his hand to grab it. Zuna, wait for me, I will improve my strength as soon as possible and go to find you. Xiao Yang murmured in his heart, and then without hesitation, he attacked the Zuna in front of him. Zuna seemed to look at Xiao Yang in horror, and just wanted to run away, but Xiao Yang had already placed an extremely powerful soul restriction on this world, and the power in his body suddenly weakened. Obviously Xiao Yang he did his hands and feet in the refining flame, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into a dark red elixir. On top of the dark red medicinal pill, the rich medicinal incense was scattered everywhere, and then a young man with a heavy foot on his back reached out and instantly put the dark red medicinal powder into a delicate jade bottle. At this point, the people present are also clear that this imperial medicinal pill has finally been successfully refined. At the main entrance of the Yu family, Mueller and the man in grey smelled the incense that filled the sky, and then slowly raised their heads. Mueller's pupils shrank tightly, and looked at the figure in the sky and said, Xiao Yang? Good boy, let's find it easy. This time even Wu Huan's revenge is avenged. Before Xiao Yang could make a sound, the man in grey next to Mueller stood up out of thin air and complained to Xiao Yang, who had just taken the medicine pill. Mueller followed closely, and he was obviously very good at speed, and was not let down by the man in grey. Xiao Yang had just taken the medicine pill, and the aura in his body was not stable. After all, refining medicine pills for a long time would inevitably weaken his own strength, and then he was also attracted by the sudden shouting, and turned his head to look at it. The man in grey suddenly found that the man beside the man in grey was Mueller. Actually chased here. Then Xiao Yang lightly touched the ring with his fingers, and the golden demon puppet that had just been tempered was also ready to take action immediately if the situation went wrong. Above the Yu family compound, Dan Leun had just run away, and was enveloped by a group of people again. Among them, Mueller with a bald head and a man in grey are the most notable. Isn't this Mueller? Yu, who was beside Yu, let out a surprise, because Mueller took advantage of Xiao Yang to sneak attack on Yu at the bottom of the lake, and she recognized the bald head at a glance. At this time, the people above the Yu family courtyard were clearly divided into two factions. There were a dozen people in Mueller on one side, and only Xiao Yang Yuuru on the other. The two leaders of the Mu family seemed to be Mueller, who was in his 30s and 40s, and a man in grey. There were more than a dozen people behind them. Yueyu was just standing there, and was the focus of the audience invisibly, like a giant pillar. Even if it was a man in grey and Mueller, when he saw him for the first time, you will feel a sense of oppression. This is absolute strength, this person, very strong. This was the first impression of the man in grey and Mueller on Yueyu, but the person who made his son humiliated was in front of him, and the man in grey had to face the difficulties. Xiao Yang's figure flashed, and Yueru came to Yueyu's side one after the other. The sudden appearance of the two of them also attracted the attention of the dozen people headed by the man in grey. The grey-clothed man glanced at Xiao Yang and Yueru, a look of surprise flashed in his eyes, and then stared at Xiao Yang. "Hand over Xiao Yang," the man in grey shouted at one of the young men. "You know each other?" Yu was a little angry when she saw these people standing out of thin air. This is the Yu family courtyard, and the sky above the courtyard belongs to a private understanding. These Mu family members obviously didn't take him seriously, so they could not help frowning. Then he turned his head to look at Xiao Yang. "There have been a few times." Xiao Yang also said lightly, that day he was able to defeat Muller in the ruins, not to mention the strength of relying on yin and yang to improve today. The so-called favored man like Muller has long been gone. Xiao Yang's opponent. But what Xiao Yang didn't expect was that he didn't kill Muller at the beginning, but instead he kept his hand. Today, such a situation would appear, first Wu Huan, and now Mueller. Are these so-called heaven's pride? Is it a virtue? Xiao Yang child, you hurt my son first, then robbed his crescent moon green fruit, handed over the crescent moon green fruit, and confessed to me, otherwise you won't be able to eat and go today. He sneered. After all, the man in grey also felt Xiao Yang's strength at the peak of the 3-star Do Emperor, but with his late 4-star Do Emperor's strength, this kid was not worth mentioning. Humph, full of nonsense. The dignified head of the Mu family would also say such things. The crescent moon green fruit is what my precious daughter and Xiao Yang got. Your family's Mueller plotted against my daughter while she was not paying attention. We have to settle the account carefully. Forget it. Yu also looked at the sky, staring at the Mu family who was also floating above the Yu family compound. At this moment, the man in grey also took off the grey clothes that covered his appearance, and then revealed the exact same appearance as the bald head in the depths of the Warcraft Mountains. The discerning person on the spot could see at a glance that this man in grey is the head of the Mu family, real powerhouse of the late 4-star Do Di. Although the Mu family is not as powerful as the Yu family, the Mu family still has some status and power in Wucheng, and it is said that there is still some close cooperation between the Mu family and the Wu family who controls Wucheng, so it is unknown. Murray looked at Yu's tall and burly figure in the air, and couldn't help but feel a little scared. After all, this Yu was a real 5-star fighting emperor. Don't look at the difference between the 5-star Do Emperor and the 4-star Do Emperor, only a small rank, but the real battle is to know that even this small rank is like a gap, and 10 4-star Do Emperor powerhouses may not be able to reach. Got a 5-star Do Di powerhouse. This is Yu's pride. Of course, he also has his sufficient strength as a premise. Humph. Murray also snorted coldly, and then looked at Xiao Yang fiercely regardless of Yu's coercion. Yu was also a little surprised. What exactly did Murray have in mind? This look is obviously that a lot of forces in the family have been dispatched to capture Xiao Yang, but it shouldn't be. He also knows the battle between Xiao Yang and Mueller. Xiao Yang duo didn't kill him, so he wouldn't have formed such a big hatred. Yu frowned, and then suddenly remembered that Xiao Yang severely injured Wu Huan, but Wucheng did not send any strong men to take revenge, but there was no movement at all. This is not like the character of Wucheng's gang who will be punished. So it is. Yu is also a smart person. Looking at the people of the Mu family in front of her, she is also suddenly stunned. The head of the Mu family has no way to teach, so let me take good care of your son for you. Yu also sneered, and then exuded all the momentum. This Yueyu is very protective of her shortcomings. She didn't expect her daughter to be plotted against by this despicable and shameless villain from Mueller, and she was secretly unhappy. She must teach Mueller a lesson. Outrage your daughter. On the contrary, this Xiao Yang is also considered to be a man of temperament. He protects his daughter from obtaining the crescent moon green fruit, so he will rush this kindness. Yu will definitely not hand over Xiao Yang. Yueyu's figure, who was still standing in the air just now, came to Mueller's side in an instant, and then grabbed it casually. Mueller, who had been somewhat domineering, was actually lifted up by Yueyu. Then Yu grabbed the corner of Mueller's clothes and returned to his previous position, as if none of this had happened. Damn. You old man, you are mainly arrogant. Because of the strength of Murray's 4-star Do-D in the late stage, he didn't realize what was going on just now. I should ask you this. Intruding into the private domain of my Yu family's land, not only slandering my daughter, but also trying to get my Yu family to hand over my Yu family's dedicated elders. What do you think should be done according to my Yu family's family rules? Carrying Mueller, his eyes stared straight at Mu Lei's group. The strength of the 5-star Do-D powerhouse was instantly released, and then he said loudly, "Should kill." The clansmen in the Yu family courtyard also responded, their voices imposing like a rainbow. This video will end here.